Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by.
Greetings, beautiful butterflies and perfect people. Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. Today I'm going to share with you and discuss some commentary that was left on one of my video posts on TikTok. Incidentally, you can find me on TikTok at I Am Melanin Magic. I think the LLC is in there. Either way, I Am Melanin Magic is one word, should allow you to find it. And so are you. And I saw this last night and I thought, oh, let me bring some awareness to this today on the channel. And so that's what I'm doing. So let me give you a second to take a look at the video that I put up, and then I will go over the commentary with you. If this looks like a video that you want to see, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and dive into that equal energy exchange. If you've been supporting the channel for a while, I love you. If you're someone that supports the channel and you never give a thumbs up, you never show up in the comments, you don't support the brand, get off the channel. There's no need for you to be here without an equal exchange of energy. You will be forever spiritually impoverished. But for those of you who continue to give, who show your love, and even if you don't show up physically, but you send good energy and you smile and you enjoy the video, and maybe you forget to give it a thumbs up or like it or share it or subscribe or something like that, in Lakesh, okay? The light in me honors the light in you. You are me and I am you. So let's go ahead and let's dig in. On the fence about Sisterlocks, I will tell you, although there are some caveats to this hairstyle, it will be the best decision that you have ever made, provided you do your due diligence, provided you do your research, provided you end up with a good loctician and a second backup. You will love this hairstyle. It is worth the money that you'll pay for it. If you get the right person to do your installation, it will be the kind of style that will last you for an indefinite amount of time if you take care of your hair. You won't regret getting Sisterlocks, but you do need to know if you're a great candidate for Sisterlocks or not, because not everybody's a good candidate for Sisterlocks. You might want them, but you may not have a good enough idea about why or why they may not. Here was a comment that was left on the channel that I want to get into, because when you look at the video, and y'all, I'm having a delicious bowl of tomato soup with a dollop of pesto and 2 dollops of fresh crab meat. And when I say this is actually the roasted red pepper and tomato soup that you get in the little carton in the store, so my mouth is a little watery. Forgive me. So anyway, essentially when you watch that video, you hear me saying that Sisterlocks are a wonderful decision, that they were the best decision, one of the best decisions that I ever made. They were the best decision that I ever made regarding my hair. Prior to Sisterlocks, I had been permed since I was a kid, permed as an adult. I also used to do people's braids and their braid-in, sew-in weaves in high school and in college, and I used to do my own. But I wore individual braids, both synthetic and human hair, throughout college, off and on. I knew a lot about hair, had never heard of anything like this, even though it was coming out shortly after, in some years after I had graduated from college. When I found this as a result of severe hair loss, thank you, dye, over-the-counter dye and henna within days or a week or two of each other, I learned my lesson from that. It was traumatic, but were it not for that, I would not be here with you today. And that's the reason. That's just another reason why you have to be grateful for whatever happens in your life. I do not care what it is. It is always working out for you. It is always something that is bringing you greater expansion and greater opportunities to manifest great joy, peace, tranquility, abundance, relationships, just raising your vibration. Is always trying to expand you, because that is the way the divine works. Who would have known that as I was crying, pulling out my hair by the handfuls, that I would be in a situation where years later, the very fact that I did that would have our paths cross. God is great. God is great. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful intersection and coordination of events, of synchronistic events. Don't like my bra showing, so let me put the hair back over here. All right, so I will continue to say that it was the best decision that I have ever made until I found Miss Blake's and Knotted Locks. Now, that is the best decision that I made. But I thank Sisterlocks, and I will forever have some sense of endearment, although not total, and you guys know what my concerns are regarding the brand here on the channel. But ultimately, I'm still grateful for the person who served as the vehicle. I'm speaking very carefully. For the person who served as the vehicle to bring those to us women here in the West, all right? To our community, helping us to see the abundance and the beauty that is available to us when we embrace the kink in our hair, when we embrace the kink that is us. So, Albie, I am working, so I need you. I just fed you beautiful salmon, beautiful tuna. Your life is good. You're living better than a lot of people around the world that are human. Thank you. Have a seat. Have a seat. So, I gotta say this, y'all. Gotta get that kombucha in. All right, so until Knotted Locks came into my life, until I heard the call to action, until I heard my soul's call and I recognized a like soul, Sisterlocks was my go-to. Now, I had some issues with Sisterlocks, which you hear me talk about here on the channel all the time. I feel it was worth it. I feel it was worth the payment. I would still pay that again. I would likely pay 3 times what I paid. I paid $7.50. I did a video, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, about the raising prices of Sisterlocks and how insane it has gotten. I gave you an actual quote, something like $3,000 for an install and as much as $400 for retightenings. Ain't no way I would pay $400 for retightening. They retighten anything. My finances, my backside, my boobs. I'm not paying $400 for that kind of retightening. And as much as I know today about Sisterlocks, and as good as I am with hair and have been my whole life, I would probably do my own today if it was going to cost that much. If I could get them for $2 grand and I could trust the person that was doing them, if I could get them for even for $2,200 and I could trust the person, see, here's where your problem runs. Therein lies the problem. And I could really trust the person, I knew what I was getting and my energy vibed with that person, I would probably still do it. If Efraj was charging that today and Efraj was going to install my locks, I'd let her do it in a minute. Her name is Efraj Suad, S-U-A-D. Search her in the Atlanta area. If you don't find her information in my description, please search her. Do not contact me and ask me to give you her number. Just do a search on YouTube, Efraj, I-F-R-A-J. She's been in my description, though, for quite a while. So she may be in there. I believe her number is 404-207-6781. I'm almost positive. Let me just check while I'm talking about it in case you are ready to have your love affair with Miss Efraj and you get so lucky that she can get you in. 207-6281. For once, I've got to remember. 404-207-6281. That is Efraj. Now, Neka, who had 2 openings between now and the end of the year, she's the other loctician that I've gone to over the years. We're like this. She is in the thumbnail of a video I did about 3 months ago. So you can click on the word videos and just scroll. You will see her bright, beautiful, high vibrational face. I was in her salon doing an interview. She stays busy. Recently hired another natural stylist that I believe also does Sisterlocks. But anyway, were it not, and when I used to do my individuals, I was good with parting. I was very good with parting. I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. Would I actually have the perfect grid? Probably not, because I can't see perfectly. But could I replicate the Sisterlocks grid in a second if I wanted it? Could I start at the bottom and interlock in a 4-point reverse rotation all the way to the top? Heck yes. Would I have to do it in one sitting? No. So am I capable, based on everything I've learned, everything I've seen, and everything I've done in terms of taking down some of my locks and redoing them and everything that I've learned? I could do Sisterlocks. I could install a set of Sisterlocks that might not be perfect, but I guarantee you my hair would end up looking just like it does today. But without the grid, because Destiny still would have intersected my path and I would have been a knotted locks connoisseur, and I am gridless at this point. Now, when I say I'm gridless, all I'm saying is that you don't see my grid. It is still there. I hope that it will slowly become more and more invisible, because my hair has always grown outside the lock. So now it doesn't have to be forced to follow the grid lines and, you know, carving out places that end up becoming empty spaces, because I don't have to be locked into a grid. So I love that. But would I do it all over again? And if not, I would be willing to invest the time to install my own locks. As long as my hair was not crazy long, I could actually do it if I had to do it. Knowing what I know today and knowing that I'm a free-flowing non-perfectionist when it comes to my locks, I could easily do it, because I'm not searching for perfection. I'm searching for individual expression. I am not searching for perfection. I am searching for individual expression, and that is why I am a perfect fit for knotted locks. So anyway, I would do it again. It's a great style. There's certain things that you need to pay attention to, because you guys know I consider it an at-risk hairstyle if you meet certain fundamental bulleted points or criteria, which can set you up to be in a space where not only will you have to participate in your own rescue, but you might have to take down your locks, give your hair a rest, or if you're lucky, transition over to knotted locks. Yes, I'm the poster child for knotted locks, and we'll get more into that as the time goes on and I can see more and more of the beauty that is going to be revealed through my knotted locks. So as I was giving the advice, a sister showed up in the comments and she said, don't do it. Wait till time passes, sisters. This way of locking is the new alopecia that's replacing lace fronts. Traditional is the way to go. That's interesting. Now, I don't think that lace fronts have been out that long, but I don't know that much about wigs. But I know I've had my locks for 13 years, and I don't know if lace fronts have been out that long. And I also know that I've had my locks when I was having that conversation. I was right at 13 years, and I didn't experience any hair loss. But I will also tell you that I know why I did not, because I took precautions. Extreme situations call for extreme measures, and I was on top of things. And based on the multiple hundreds and hundreds of horror stories that I've seen from you all, and the hundreds of pictures that you all have sent me over the course of time, and a lot of your commentary here on the channel, I didn't need to have my train run off the track to get off the train and to detrain. I didn't need to have that happen. I began to do some very serious interventionary types of measures. Now, what she's saying here is that small locks in general, more than likely. But since I was talking about Sisterlocks, let's say she was talking about Sisterlocks. She said Sisterlocks are the new alopecia. I'm saying in general, the general term for small locks would include everything. I can vouch right now, 99.999999, you can round that up to 100%, that knotted locks is not in this equation. It's just not. And when you shift over to knotted locks, you're going to see your hair is in wonderful hands. Like, what is that commercial? Allstate or State Farms? Sisterlocks, Microlocks, and any other lock where you have a grid, any other lock where you're going in for frequent retightenings, any other lock. Now remember, it's not going to be one thing that's going to cause your locks to fall out. Please don't misquote me. I'm not maligning Microlocks, Sisterlocks, Tiny, all these locks. What I'm saying is a cumulative effort that will be fulfilled by multiple variables, i.e. too much tension, too frequent reties, no oil, tools that rip on the hair, the quickness with which they are being done, failure to act because you're the one that's sitting in the seat and you have a sense about what's going on, failure to listen to your intuition, not beginning to see the warning signs of when thinning is occurring and knowing what to do to prevent it, not doing other things to mitigate the stresses of your hair. Yes, 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 they will be a result of the new alopecia for many women. Women who don't have hair that is just strong as hell. That might have been my sister. The one that's back here, my sister that passed away from diabetes. When I say her hair is like 3 Persian rugs with serious, what they call it, the nape or whatever that is that they call, like just thick, 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 thick. Like almost impossible to fall out. And if it ever fell, it would break. It may break, but it was not coming out at the scalp. People with hair like that with super density, not high density, super high. You know how you have overweight, obese, think morbidly obese, and then the supers who are like 1,000 and up or 800 and up. I'm talking about super, super dense hair. People who pretty much could run a lawnmower through their hair and their hair would still survive. Most of us don't fit in that compartment though. I don't fit in that compartment. Some people who do, they can put a lot of stress on their hair repeatedly. And even if they lose hair and it rebounds and they go through hormonal changes later in life and the medication pulls it out, it rebounds. But the majority of people are not like that, and especially those that have low density hair. So are these styles the new alopecia? No. Can they be? And can they possibly fulfill that title? Yes, with ease, if you don't do the multitude of things that I talk to you about in my videos all the time. Now, the problem that I have really with just about anything that has to do with hair loss and these smaller locks, these micro locks, it's really very simple. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I remembered this point. And that is, when your locks start to fall, the first thing you are told by the average, the mediocre loctician, is go see your cosmetologist. This person is the one that pretends as though they never saw the hair loss coming. This is the same one, not necessarily though, who may have been marrying your locks, and you don't realize it until you start looking at the devastation and you start seeing the skeletons lying in the street and the collateral damage of the chair that you've been sitting in becomes apparent to you. This is the person, along with this culture that we have in our community when hair loss starts, we never look at the person that's been caring for your hair and maybe the way in which they've been caring. And I'm not about pointing the finger. I'm about raising awareness. I'm about accountability and taking responsibility so that we don't keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. If I'm doing your hair and it's thinning, I need to have a talk with you because we need to get on the same page. We need to come together and figure out what I can do to help you and what you can do to help me and what we can both do to help your hair. Trust me. There are a litany of things that we can all do when acting in the best interest of the client and when acting in the best interest, if you're the entrepreneur, of the business, and when acting in the best interest of your hair. There's an infinity of things you can do. The last thing you need to be doing though, for most of you is sitting up there and letting yourself be told that you need to go to a dermatologist or a trichologist and that this is hormonal based. This has something to do with your diet and the way you've been eating. All the stuff that was the same when you first got the locks. All right? Don't make that the absolute go-to. Be willing to examine the multitude of different variables that could be playing into the demise of your hair. That is all that I am saying to you. It is too easy for someone to tell you to see a dermatologist. As a matter of fact, I'm so glad I remembered this, because in the Knotted Locks support group today, I went into the group and there was a sister who left a long post. You know what she said? She went back to her dermatologist after severe hair loss, and her dermatologist could not believe in the course of a year, especially within the last, I think, several months or something. Don't quote me, but essentially she was saying she had Sisterlocks when she went. Now that she has shifted over to Knotted Locks, her hair looks so much better, and her dermatologist has told her, okay, while you need to stop doing that, and I'm glad you stopped doing that, matriculating over here to Knotted Locks is a good decision, and I can sanction that for you. See, so this is what I'm saying. I'm saying just be willing to look at what you can do. And if you stop allowing that person to tighten locks in that area, and you take it upon yourself and stop being intimidated and stop being so afraid to do that section where your hair is being torn out or your hair is being traumatized, then you can begin to see, especially for those of you who are using both of these, this one here, the Magical Hair Growth Serum in the problem areas, you can begin to see what the capacity is that your hair has to grow back. I am one that believes in the body's infinite possibilities with regard to healing. I'm never going to give up on healing. There's not a person that can tell me, and I would listen at least at this stage, that it's impossible to grow hair back. I don't believe God is non-existent. I believe anything is possible. So I would never give up. So I would tell you never to give up. I would also tell you that conventional wisdom says sometimes it can take up to 4 years for the follicles to come back. I would argue it can take longer than that. But for the majority of you, what you need to do is step back from the trauma. That's it. You just need to step back from the trauma. Stop getting the retightenings or take over that part of your hair while doing some type of intervention. The Magical Hair Growth Serum is working great. And for many of you, the Fearless Follicles is doing Fearless Follicles. I just need to give a shout out to the beautiful Whitney, who is, you just sent me, and these are the most recent texts I can remember, that talked about how wonderful this was working on your hair. You've been using this for years anyway to maintain. I don't have your orders in front of me. You may have used the Magical Hair Growth Serum, but something made you just go off about this. So this is the Fearless Follicles. It can be used as well. In fact, this is the nighttime one. This is the day one. This is your daily maintenance, okay? So what I'm saying here essentially is that you got to figure out what's going on with your hair. You have to figure that out. And in order for you to figure that out, you're going to have to step away from the trauma. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit more about in my next video. And I will call it Step Away from the Trauma. I love you guys. If you haven't purchased my Manifesting Your Masterpiece book right here, you can get it on Amazon. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It will be a wonderful addendum to your healing library. I want to thank all of you who have done your reviews in purchasing that book. I want to thank all of you who go back to the site and give testimonials. Many of you text me to my phone. I need you to go back to the website, click on the product you purchased, and click the stars around the product and leave a review on the site. It can be very helpful, and it's definitely critical to spreading the word and helping other people to look for options outside of maybe what they've considered. There's a high probability that these products will stimulate hair growth. They are some of the most synergistically powerful oil blends that are on the market today. A lot of thought and research and development has gone into those blends. I can tell you with the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times, probably 12, 13, 14, 15 times that I've dyed my hair and have picked and opened up my ends like you all know I do. And just all the multitude of pulling on my hair when I put on my clothes when my husband was in the bed. You know, back in the day, he used to do this all the time. His hands would snatch my locks, all of those things. My hair has been able to rebound and is as healthy as it is and as thick as it is. And I've got 3 new locks. Y'all already know I tell you when I put in new ones. I got 2 more back here. These are 2 knotted locks back here. So my hair is growing like crazy because of certain things that I do. Also using my oil. So for some of you, it will totally replenish your hair. Shout out to Kina Bell. In the last few videos, I posted some of her testimony. Her hair has just come back. Many of you have gotten your hair all the way back, but then you go back and sit in the chair. You can't do that. But for many of you, it may stimulate peach fuzz. It may, with massage and use of other products and in combination of the products and doing some other things that are very important. For example, sulfur flakes and a lot of other things that you can do begin to help you to see some relief. But first and foremost, you must cease and desist. You are with Tanisha Ali of Tanisha's Locks, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, here to give you information, leading edge information about my experiences and what I have learned through your anecdotal records and through your feedback and through my research. I am not encouraging you to make one decision over the other. I'm here to give you some information to consider. Talk to you soon. Join the evolution. Evolve. The evolution I'm talking about is the evolution towards knotted locks. But I do have a spiritual channel called Butterfly Transformations. You can check me out over there too. Bye. I want to take a few moments to share with you some of the successes that the I Am Melanin Magic hair brand is having. Jimmy here, along with his father, have been dealing with hair loss presenting as bald patches and thinning throughout his hair for over 10 years. He decided, by way of his girlfriend, to give I Am Melanin Magic a try. With consistent use of the I Am Melanin Magic Magical Hair Growth Serum, using it 5 days a week for 8 weeks, these are the results that he was able to get. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you.